Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of Weaverbirds Live TV with me,
Oh,
Karen
it's
Weaver.
18. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
there she is. There she's over there. And Emma Weaver. So today we're going to be talking about the power of knowing. Not so much the book, we're just going to have a conversation about knowing because everyone needs to know how to know, don't they, Emma?
I love the fact that you said that. We need to know. How do you know if you know? If you know, you know. It's like a tongue
Exactly. It
twister.
is. It's one of those things that you can sort of go around in your mind just chasing. But do you know what it is, Emma? It's everyone has the primal instinct to know, but so many, and I always say this, and I'm going to go straight in with it, is you lean inside for the answers and outside for the support to make it happen. But there's too many people leaning outside for the answers and not feeling the support of the alignment inside because nobody else can know for you, only you,
Yeah.
because nobody else is connected with the intentions that you set. Nobody's connected with with what you need to know in life or do in life or action in life other than you. So that's why the answer has to come through you as much as people avoid it, because it means getting to know yourself. And that can be something that people kind of avoid or are fearful of because there's no hiding when you do that. You got to show up
But you
authentically.
can't run away from yourself, can't you? That. And I seen something on social media today, and I'm going to try and quote this. And of course, as always, I don't have all the facts, but like, there's millions of people in the world, and there's only one person that you are actually responsible for, and that's you. Even
Hmm.
though you've got children, and you are potentially responsible for your children until they're 18 or whatever age.
Hmm.
But in the grand scheme of things, of all those millions and millions and millions of people that are on this earth,
Hmm.
you are only responsible for you.
Yeah. And whenever you take ownership of that, then
Mm-hmm.
you end up get to show up with your best self and help others. And we both do that in what we do every day in life is we go to the discomfort of getting to know each facet of ourselves so that we can know and make decisions about that. And one of the things that I always say, I've got a 3-step strategy for knowing, and whenever it takes a while to kick it in, but once you do it, like remember, like we talked about last week, the mindfulness, if you do it for like 21 days, it becomes a bit of a habit.
Yes.
And so yeah, so if you feel it, that's that gut instinct, that's the kind of feminine energy, I suppose, is feeling something. And that's why it's important to set your intentions first and know what you want, because that's when opportunities or inspired thoughts come your way. And if you feel it, if something grabs your attention and you feel it, you go, oh, that's awesome. But then you've got to go then to the next stage, which is thinking it, which is kind of like the masculine energy. And so then, there's this divine alignment, and you go, is this aligned with where I'm going? And if it's a hell yes, then you need to have no fear within you whatsoever. You need to have only absolute courage to say yes straight away, because if you don't, somebody else will.
That's right.
And if it's a, oh, I don't know, or if it's a no, then you dismiss it. You do not say yes. There's so much power in a no, because if you say yes to something that your heart's not in, you're doing a disservice to the person or to the project or to the whatever it is that you say yes to, because you're not going to put your whole self in it. Does that make sense? Because that's just how I live life.
Well, to me, and I totally agree. There's a couple of things whenever I think about knowing, and like, I mean, I could be completely off track, so please say this here. Number one, it's a feeling. It's a feeling.
Mhm.
However, you have to trust yourself enough and know yourself enough to either go with that feeling or dismiss it. And
Yeah.
it's also worth considering as well, that sometimes things trigger us or they're just bad habits. So you have to know the difference, but you need to
Mhm.
know yourself enough to be able to know the difference. So it does take a bit of time, Karen, to get to understand it. And I was thinking of this earlier on today because I knew obviously that this is what we were going to be talking about. And it's only in later years that I have even really took it on. And you know me, I was always that person, wouldn't sit in silence, wouldn't be on my own, busy being busy, just avoiding whatever was going on or whatever. And it's only in later years that I've really, I can sit in silence now and understand my thoughts around things. And I think that's really, really important, because then you hear your knowing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you know what? It's just so it's where you get the answers. It's where the thoughts come in. It's not that you hear voices or anything. It's more that you have this internal um conversation with
Yeah.
yourself that you can then initiate. And yes, in this nice busy world, we can often just keep going. I know there's days where I'm just so busy that, you know, just even the preparation of dinner is like, oh God, but just a step. But I'm always connected. It becomes part of my DNA to know. And one of the things, is, and I talk about this a lot, is Katie from the Women's Business School. Love these girls. I remember going once to a conference and she said to me, Karen, you are fearless. And I was like, there's no fear in knowing. And that's because I can make split second decisions
Yeah.
because I know how to know. I can make a split second decision straight away that just absolutely, with unwavering faith, like that unwavering faith to just be able to make a decision where other people may have took a longer time, or may have missed the boat with it, just to be able to say yes, because you know that is exactly aligned with where you're going and have no qualms about it. Like that's a superpower. And when you are able to connect into that, you are fast tracked through life and fast tracked to your goals that you set in life, and even just little things. And it's so fun to do it. But whenever it becomes part of your DNA, then you know that you just trust in the process of life,
Yeah.
and you trust that it's bringing you to where you need to go, and then there's no fear there. And I always say that there's there's the part whenever you live fearlessly and on purpose, like that is living. It's
For
absolutely
sure. Oh
living.
my, you're living your life by design, aren't you? Like, and I mean, that's
Oh,
what most people are striving to do. I know I am, trying to create that life, that I am choosing, and just sitting in that knowing as well. However, it doesn't come natural to everybody, Karen, because
no,
it's
it doesn't.
taken me quite a while to even try to grasp the concept.
But it's really, really, really worth taking the time to just ease yourself into it. Just to don't overthink it. It
Yeah.
is a feeling thing first, but it's when you align your intentions and your goals and your desires with your knowing, that's when it's
Yeah.
most productive for you. And you don't overthink it. You just really don't need to overthink it.
Which some of us might do every now and again.
It's
But I mean,
it's
you
it's
haven't even
human
said
nature.
that. Do you think is that like some of the things that I do talk about at times? Catch your thoughts, check in on yourself. So okay, don't overthink this. Just trust the
Mm,
process, and
yeah.
but it needs to be the process of your knowing. Now, obviously, I have your book, and I've read it. And one of the things, and this is just because I'm a kind of practical person, it's just the way that I take things on, is you actually have, and you know what I'm like for numbers and things, the golden rules of knowing
All
is
right, I've
in the
got this
book.
tab. Yeah. So my golden rules for knowing are to honor your decisions. Now that means taking ownership.
Yeah.
And some people don't like having responsibility for their own for your own thoughts and for your own actions. And I understand that absolutely. But you need to take ownership, because why would you gift that ownership of your thoughts and actions to somebody else is beyond me. So honor your decisions, have no regrets for any decision to say no, or any regret for any decision that you say yes to either. Just know that it's absolutely what you're supposed to be doing and trust in the process. And then follow the 3-step process, which is to feel it, to think it, to action it. The action it is really important, because if you don't take the action, somebody else will come and scoop up that baby and you'll be going, oh, I thought about that and I did, and I didn't action it. And then there is be at one with the essence of you. Okay. So
Yeah.
just, just be with yourself. Don't overthink it. just get to like you, because that's you know, why you're with yourself all of the time. Become your own best friend, you know, why not? And embrace the journey. You know, this is one of the things I talk about all the time, is that we're so many people are focused on the destination, but when you embrace the journey, holy moly, it's just so much more. Life is just so much more enjoyable. You know,
Yeah.
like I really prioritize joy and happiness, and that's why on the journey, yes, there's challenges. Yes, there's, you know, things that I have to contend with and work to do. But whenever you are doing what you love, your heart sings. It doesn't feel like a chore, and you know you're always progressing
Yeah.
when you embrace your knowing. And that feeling of progression, you know you're always moving forward, that you're not stagnant. It's a beautiful thing, and so you feel alive. And the journey is fun, because you're meeting people, you're having experiences. Like, I really love it, having new experiences, because you know all of it's like, if I wrote my autobiography now, it would be so big, because I love having life experiences.
But like, I mean, it's all about your energy as well. And I know we do talk about this, but I mean, you need to raise your vibration to be in this state of knowing. And there's something that I've got into lately, and I was just thinking, um, everything we need, and this is going to sound really obvious, like, but everything that we need is already here. Really, we just need to understand, when you put this together with this could potentially happen, and when you allow yourself to do different things. So, music, dancing
Yeah.
to your favorite song, and just really feeling happy and having that energy. And that sounds really simple, and you're like, I'm not going to be dancing, but it makes you feel happy. When you
Mhm.
feel happy and you're in that kind of feeling, what happens? You get more things to feel happy about. And like
Mhm.
dancing, like in Egypt, I'm just going to use
Mhm.
that term, to your favorite song, and that, or even sometimes I'd be in the car and I'd be driving to wherever I'm going, playing music, singing away, just feeling really good. And you're just thinking, I am going to have a great day today.
Yeah, it's all of, and you can reset it any
Yeah.
single time. Well, then you know that that's for you, don't you?
Hmm.
It's funny.
Hmm.
I've been. I was like, all right, I have to get my ass in shape. I don't want to lose a lot of weight. I just want to get nice and toned like I used to be. So how am I going to do that? I do not, exercise. I just don't have the capacity in my mind to want to do that right now. So
Yeah.
how do I do that? So me and the kids have been doing Just Dance, because I love to dance and stuff. So I was like, win, win, win. We just put on Just Dance every day for an hour, and by God, I'm feeling it. I've muscles where I didn't know I had muscles now, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It fits in with my life. Whereas I could have had a different mindset. Oh, I need to go to the gym. Oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. But that doesn't suit where I am and what I want to do in life. So it takes me away from my family. So let's do something together that's fun for us all. So that's just like win, win, win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a
And like, did
different.
that kind of come from, and we talk about it all the time, and the reason why I love this idea is because I now do it and recognize those inspired thoughts. It's something just came into your head and you thought, right, this is what I'm going to do. So you had an inspired
Mhm.
thought and you actioned it.
Mhm. Isn't it so simple when you know how? You know the way people say it's simple when you know how.
Hmm.
And it is simply that you say, oh, I'd really like that. So I'm going to set the intention that I want that. But I don't know how I'm going to get it, but that's not for me to understand. I just have to set the intention. It's all about the law of attraction. So don't overthink the law of attraction. Just go with the universal laws, because they're always working, always for everybody. And if you pick up on that vibration, then you are going to be a winner as well. So
Yeah.
you set the intention, okay, and then you have the inspired thought, or an opportunity comes your way. But you need to be able to be mindful enough to be aware that that happens. So most people, we have 80,000 thoughts a day, Emma, so we can't just filter, we can't
That's
just
right.
process every single one of them. So, but whenever you get an inspired thought, it's like an aha moment. It catches your attention.
And it definitely does. And do you know what is worth realizing as well? And I'm not going to get too technical into this. Out of all those 80,000 thoughts, some of them are conscious and some of them are unconscious. So
Uh-huh.
it just adds all that into the mix in terms
Mhm.
of you know, in terms of reality, what's coming to the forefront, conscious, unconscious, where it's coming from. So I mean, we are just amazing creatures in terms of what we're able to filter through. But once you know, which we're talking about, you know how to do it, and you can just do it automatically.
And it's so bloody fun whenever you play around with it. You know,
You do
using
always say
it.
that.
Yeah, whenever you'd go, okay, I'm going to test this and do it just with a little thing that is not the be on and all if it happens. But again, it's just going within for the answers and outside for the support to make it happen. Like there's lots of things that I set an intention to do, but I have no desire to learn some of the fundamentals that are needed to get there. But it's funny how the people that you need to make for it to happen come to you. So that's often the opportunities or the people you need to get you there present themselves to you. So it's about somebody saying, do you need a hand with that? You go, yes, instead of, no, I'm all right. Do the yes, thanks, and just, you know, have gratitude in that. It's all, whenever you do it, start to do it consciously, it then starts to engrave itself in your subconscious mind, and it becomes part of your DNA kind of thing, you know what I mean? And how you live life, your daily life.
That's unreal. And I mean, I know it's definitely all part of the knowing and the consciousness, but you need to know how to know, and that all comes back again to knowing yourself, and that's not the easiest thing to do. I tend to learn from you know, the way they say you can only join the dots backwards. That's kind of how I learn, and that kind of feeds
hindsight. That's a wonderful thing.
That feeds into my knowing. Does, you know, would that be a thing? It does. I feel it feeds into my knowing.
Well, that's all part of self-awareness, and when it helps you get to know, so that whenever it comes around again, that you're able to, if you need to action it differently, that you're able to identify it. We have a comment here from Lindsay. Lindsay says, it takes a lot of training of the brain, I think.
It does. It actually does. Like
it is. And then not overthinking it, but having fun with it, Lindsay, then it doesn't feel like a chore is the biggest thing I can say whenever whenever you're bridging the gap between being aware and not aware, you know, because whenever you're aware of how the universal laws work, because remember we talked about it, that they're the laws you want to abide by. And because like if you have a business, it's really, really, really important that you know how to know, because then you're able to make, you know, decisions on, you know, straight away and things like that, because somebody else will get, you know, pick up on that or whatever, you know, whoever set that intention, made that opportunity may only be for one person, or you want to be in there first, or, you know, if you have an inspired, innovative thought to action it, you know, that takes extra courage because you're doing something nobody else has done. So, you know, and I love being innovative with thoughts and just planting seeds and seeing where they go. It's just, it's all part of it. So that's why knowing is so integral to me in my life principles, because whenever you set intentions, which is what we're talking about next week, we'll talk about how to set powerful intentions. And then you're mindful of the opportunities and inspired thoughts that come your way. And you're aligned with your values. You know, values is something that's so underrated. If you know your values and what you what really is important to you, then, and you make your decisions through that, well then, holy moly, you're going to live a life worth living, really and truly, you know.
And like you always talk about your knowing, and that's why whenever you know people are in your energy or they're connecting with you or whatever, they do always say, how do you do it? And you'd be like, it's in the knowing, because I have often said to you, how do you know? Tell me how you do this. But you have to find your own way, and that's like everything else in life too, isn't it? But it's been having this conversation to trying to explain it a wee bit. Obviously I can't explain it, but it's trying to explain it a wee bit better, that, and it's in like that's why I like those 4 golden rules, because that's kind of the stuff that makes sense to me. Sometimes I need it wrote out, you know, to try this. So that's what I do. That's what I've done.
And don't we play around with this? Like I'll say, Emma, my intention for is this, and then the next week I go, made it happen, and you go, how the hell did you do that? And then like, I know the process.
I No, but I do try. I'm clearly trying too hard.
You're trying too hard. You don't need to try. Take trying out of it. Just know.
Yeah, just sit in the knowing. And I meditate and everything, but you're a bit of a genius at it, Karen, because now I have manifested things in my life, and sometimes easier than others, because I'd be like, what? Does that just actually happen? So I do manifest things, but knowing is different. It is different. It's not
But you
the
still get
same.
surprised whenever it happens. When it's just that, your heart just sings. Like the other day, and the reason why I talk about these things is, like, the other day I was out the back of my house. Now, I don't live in the big, most glorious, grandest house in the world. I choose not to, because I have kids. We want to live. We want to, all this kind of stuff. But I was standing out the back of my house and I was going, oh my goodness, I just love my life right now, and can you imagine, like, so many people, remember we talked about, Emma, there's less than 8% of the population have ever fulfilled their dreams, lived their dreams. And I know I live my dream life.
Yeah.
So, and that feeling, once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. You just know it, you just know that feeling. And when it comes, it's like somebody just give you a magic gift and you're going, oh, wow. And your heart swells with it. And just to have that feeling of that, you know that you're exactly where you need to be right now, doing exactly what you need to do. And your heart's singing, your kids are healthy, all that kind of stuff, all encompassed. Because that's all part of the goal, is for that to be.
Oh, totally. And get that
feeling.
freedom and your choices and things like, and I mean, 8%, we need to start that. Let's be part of the
8% club. We do that. Yeah. Make your dreams come true. And
know your 5. Know your 5. Be part of the 8.
Be part of the 8%. But isn't it just so sad to think that 8% of of the population of the world has, like, that's just so tragic, when 100% of the world can do it if they know how to.
Yeah.
It's nobody, if you have the tools within you and you work with the universal laws, you can have anything you want. There's nothing that you can't have. There's enough for everybody, because we all have different things that we desire and want to achieve and things. So, it actually would all harmonize things a bit. I'm going into world peace here, so just get
You see, in these conversations, you never know where they're going, and that's the good part of it.
That's my solution for the anything that's happening in humanity. You've got to just, get everybody up there living their best life, focusing on themselves, not in a selfish way, but in a way that is productive. Because when we do the work we need to do in ourselves, show up as our best self, then everyone benefits. And if we were all doing that, or more of us were doing that,
because then you reduce fear, greed, all that kind of stuff. You reduce that.
Where do you think anger? Where do you think anger stems from? Fear. Fear is, and that's why I talk about knowing, because there's no fear in knowing. Whenever you know yourself, you can stand there and go, I understand that maybe you are angry right now, but I honestly know that I have done everything with the best of intentions and with love. So anything that's wrong, that you are feeling right now is your stuff that you need to work with. So I suggest that you do, and I'm here to help if you need to. That kind of stuff.
It's just a nice way of
you just don't take it on board. You don't take it on board because it's not you. You're standing there with, and that's the thing. And you have to be a little bit stubborn with it as well, because
and you need to know yourself enough to stand by it. And sometimes I do often say, when I'm making decisions about things, there's no right or wrong. If you make a decision, regardless of the outcome, stand by it. It's the decision you made at the time, based on what you knew, what you had, what you were thinking. You need to trust yourself enough. So if it doesn't turn out to how you thought it was going to be, that doesn't mean it's bad.
No, and sometimes, we perceive these decisions to be bad, but they're not. Things have to happen in life that are stepping stones to where we're going, and sometimes we have things to learn, and it's in these what we call bad scenarios that we learn a lot about ourselves and grow through it, come out the other end. And so they're actually not bad things. They're just learning. And as I call them, challenges. And challenges are here to help us grow. They're not here to stop us and make us turn back. They're here to help us grow. That's what they're for. So, and that's how I approach my business. whenever there's a challenge, it just means to pause and learn what needs to. Because if I don't pause and learn what I need to step up to the next level, it's going to keep coming around, and I'm just going to be going around the hamster wheel. There's challenge again.
Until you deal with it. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Until you deal with it or learn the lesson.
Yeah, but sure, we know that, don't we? And if you think you've missed an opportunity, don't worry about it. If you still got the same intentions, it'll come back around, and just wearing different clothes or whatever in some other shape or form, it'll come back around. So
yeah,
but divine timing,
and that's what they say. The universe will keep hitting you up the face with it until eventually you learn your lesson, or you make the right choice, or something happens. So
absolutely. And that's the thing, is just take the time to learn how to know, for you, because then you can make decisions without fear. You can make unwavering faith and without any fear. And that's what I want everybody to do, because it's just, it's amazing when it happens.
I know, it's deadly. Absolutely. And that's why, and again, I know I said it last week about the magic of mindfulness. It's a book I've lifted up and put down, because you kind of just need to keep it going over it, and different things resonate with you. And if you're really trying to understand it, it's about us having these conversations, because you do live this amazing life. You live a life by design, and you are now sharing with us and letting us know how you do it, the principles that you use that allow you to do that. And I mean, people would be mad not to want to know that.
It's so fun, and that's what I was funny, because I brought this book. It was this book that I brought to that conference, or that conference a few weeks ago, and I give this book to a load of business owners. And I was like, I don't know if the business world is ready for this, but I swear to God, you would not believe the amount of messages I've been getting from people saying, Karen, wow, this book is really good. And I'm like, why are you so surprised?
You hadn't imagined amalgamating the power of knowing with business, but it's there, like it's
coming together. And I never even initiated it, because I've always worn the Karen Weaver hat for my writing and the Karen McDermott for my business, but they're merging, which is fascinating. But it's funny, because people read and go, it's just like, we know this stuff, but we don't action it or live it. And that's what it is. That's what this book is. It's really a conversation. Just you go, oh yeah. And
I never mentioned there's unlike the first book, there's other people that have added to this book as well. They have put in how they have been successful in life. I know we're going over time like we always do, but they have put in this book Elizabeth Gilbert's in it. Is Kelly in it? Wait, let's see. I think
no, Kelly's in the next one.
She's in the one with me. Michelle Wittering's in it. Joanne Fedler. So other people have kind of come in and explained
the reason why I invite people into these books now is because then you can see knowing in motion.
Yes.
So, and Elizabeth Gilbert wrote a big piece on knowing. So as I know her and I know her agent, so I just got, we were able to include that in the book, which is epic. And the way that she talks about it, she shares it in a story of how she knew in a scenario, and it was just so epic to have her as part of the project. And I do this now for every single book. I invite people in to share their, just so that readers can read knowing in action, or intention in motion, or all of those kinds of things, which is really cool. So yeah.
Oh, it adds a lovely bit to the book as well. The fact that other people are kind of adding and reiterating their own kind of spin on it. So then when you're trying to understand it yourself, maybe different things resonate. So yay!
And you're in book 3, aren't you? Next week we were talking about intention.
Yes.
So guys, come here with intention next week, because we're going to be speaking intention. And just remember, when we film this show, it's 5 a.m. with me, and it's 10 p.m. with Emma. So you're getting us whenever we are closest to our dream light state.
Okay.
You're not going to meet this during the day.
Is this like our genius state?
This is our genius. This is what I write in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it is that. But just to embrace it and to have fun with it, and just don't overthink it.
Yeah.
We're over going on our time, of course, as always, but I know that we would. But guys, next week, come and join us where we talk about intention. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. We would love to hear your knowing stories. Please share your knowing stories and let us know how you go. Until next week, which is week 19. Holy moly.
God, it does fly, to be fair. I know we say that every week, but Thursday to Thursday just comes round so fast. It's brilliant.
Don't we just smile as we know it's Weaverbirds Day.
It's a good day. Well, it's different for you because you're getting up and going straight into it, where I have the whole day to look forward to it and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's Friday for me. But yeah. Okay, guys, see you next week.